Howdy, y'all. It's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. Um, so I haven't posted a video in about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks now. So I'm late on my goals with that. I have not been consistent, and my apologies for that. In regards to the goals in the last video I had, my goals were to read the Bible 1 chapter a day, at least, go to the gym at least 3 times a week, and 3, get a haircut. Well, on the good side, I went to the gym at least 4 times, both that week, the week after, and this past week. However, I did not get a haircut, as you can see, and I did not read the Bible every day like I wanted to. So I failed that. But let's start off the topic for today. It's responsibility. Something that's been pressing more on me lately. The last video was about integrity. And responsibility, I feel, really goes along with integrity. Along with self-respect and self-love as well, too. And self-doubt. Alright? Well, for starters, what's the lack of responsibility? Lack of responsibility is chaos, chaotic lifestyle, no control over things, no commitment to things either. Which sometimes is a good thing, but not really in the long run. So, for example, if you're a worker, which hopefully you are, you have a job, you have a responsibility to show up at work on time, right? If you don't, you could be penalized for it. You could be written up, you could be docked pay, you could even eventually lose your job if you're late enough. And that's because you weren't responsible with your time. Maybe waking up in time, leaving if you knew there was traffic. Yes, there's some times where you're going to be late and it's completely out of your realm of power to get there on time. Like, for example, a car accident or something like that. But most of the time, it's within your power to get there. About 99% of the time. Also, being responsible for our choice of words, right? If we aren't responsible with our words, right, you could say all kinds of random stuff, which I am guilty of that a lot because I have a very dark sense of humor. And sometimes I don't keep a filter on my mouth when I should. And that has gotten me in trouble before. It's hurt some friendships. It's gotten me in trouble at work and at other places and other things in life. Even though I may not actually deliberately do some of the stuff I say. Like, I say some random stuff. Like, for example, I've been joking around about the coronavirus. Like, hey, some Lyme disease would go great with coronavirus because, you know, Corona beer, a lime goes good in a Corona beer. Oh, well, I digress. But also, like, responsibility for, if you have a credit card, you need to be responsible with it. Like, you don't want to go max out your credit card and not pay it off. Because if you don't pay it off, then your credit rating drops really quickly when you do that. So you need to be responsible in your money management, which I am very guilty of that in the past as well too, and slightly currently now. I'm getting more responsible with it. Being responsible with your health, like constantly eating junk food and not exercising is very irresponsible. The plus side to eating whatever you want and not exercising is you get to eat lots of tasty food and you don't just drain your body in a sense deliberately. Downside though is you get fat, you get high cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, shorten your lifespan really. And even though you don't deliberately strain yourself when you go to work out, you will still have a strain on your body. Like you'll notice it'll be harder for you to breathe at times, going up a flight of stairs, or even just laying in bed. Like it makes you more susceptible to sickness, like for example, coronavirus, because you're irresponsible with your eating and your exercise habits, and your body's digressed. So you need to be responsible with what you eat, when you eat, and exercising as well. Those are very important things if you want to have a good health and a good figure. Like you don't even need to necessarily have that chiseled, sculpted six-pack and body of the Greek gods, but you still should be responsible in what you eat and exercising as well. Relationships, right? Your significant other is focused on themselves, and they should be focusing on how they treat you as well. However, you, now, for example, myself, if I'm in a relationship, I'm responsible for my actions and how I treat my significant other. Yes, they may annoy you, they may annoy me at the time, but still, I'm responsible for my actions. They're not responsible for my actions and how I treat them, right? Towards an extent. I mean, there's a old adage that I learned in a couple of things where if a man treats a woman without love, she eventually stops treating him with respect. And when he doesn't feel the respect, he continues to not treat her with love. And it's just a vicious cycle of lack of love gives a lack of respect, lack of respect gives a lack of love. It goes on and on and on in an unending cycle until one person consistently starts showing that love or consistently starts showing that respect. Then, if you keep showing that respect, then that love starts to come out more. But, again, that's only if that other person's responsible with their actions, right? So, you're responsible on how you're going to love someone. You're responsible for how you're going to treat someone, right? And you're most definitely responsible for if you're going to cheat on them or not. That's all your fault, not theirs. If you don't feel loved or respected by someone, that does not give you the right to go out and cheat on them. That's just wrong. All right? There's no way of trying to flip it. Oh, I was lonely. Oh, you weren't giving me this, blah, 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 blah. No. There's no right for you to cheat on someone. Okay? You alone are responsible for that. If I were to cheat on someone, I'm the only one responsible for that. Even if I'm drunk and did that, I'd still be the only one responsible for that, not the alcohol. Yes, the alcohol made it easier. But again, if I were to cheat, I'd be the only one responsible. Just like if you were to cheat, even if you were drunk, you'd be the only one responsible, not your significant other. That's an excuse. It's not right. And then when it comes to like your jobs and careers, like and in education, like for example, if you're gonna get an education, it's your responsibility to do the homework. Just because you're paying to go to college does not mean you deserve a degree, right? Or if you pay to go to trade school and you just show up does not mean you deserve to be a licensed carpenter, electrician, plumber, or any of that jazz. You got to put in the work and the effort in order to do it. You have to be responsible with it. Like in high school and college, like you have to be responsible in studying for your tests. You have to be responsible in doing the homework that is given to you. Responsibility is an action. All right? And taking charge. Well, irresponsibility is the lack of action and just brings chaos into the order. Just brings in chaos, and you'll just have a chaotic life. Right? And back to like the health and wellness thing. It's your responsibility to take care of your body. Like, you're the one who has to deliberately go to the gym or wherever you work out. Set time aside time for that. You're responsible for that. All right. And friendships, you're responsible for putting in the effort in that friendship, just like you're responsible for putting in the effort in a relationship with your significant other. You're responsible. All right. Stuff. Responsibility is not just a fancy word for making car payments, which I'm going to be doing now, or money management. Responsibility is really what encompasses integrity, because you have to be responsible in order to be a man or a woman of integrity. You have to make that deliberate effort and effect in order to go out and be a person of integrity. You have to be responsible for yourself in order to self-love yourself. Like, in order to take care of your well-being, your finances, and all that jazz, you need to be responsible enough to do it. To get up off your butt and do it. Right? Responsibility is very important in regards to self-respect as well. Because if you don't hold yourself accountable stuff, if you aren't responsible with stuff, then how do you expect to be full with any accountability for stuff, right? Let me try and cut this up. Really. Well, that's what I got so far. Now my goals for next week is go to the gym at least 3 times a week. And read the Bible at least once a day. And just focus on having a positive attitude at work, with friends, with my family. Try to stay positive. All right. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night and good week. Oh, yeah. Responsibility. I'm trying to be responsible in actually posting these videos. All right. It's irresponsible when I don't. It's an action. Responsibility. Have a good night.